Hi everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Antiques Chaser. Yeah, please, it's early days for this channel, and thank you for finding me, all being directed here from my other channel. And please like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. It'd be great to have your support. Thank you very much. I'll just go through this quickly because some of you have probably seen this before. I'm at Southern Antique Centre, and I know someone's coming over to the UK shortly and they've asked me for the address. I will send you that as soon as I've finished recording this and I'm uploading it. Basically, it's an antique centre on an old farm now. These used to be farm buildings and they've turned it into an antique centre. I'm actually in the grain store where I've got a wall unit there, and I shall be there on Sunday, and I'm recording this on Friday, so a couple of days I shall actually record my unit and other places in the centre, just so you can have a look at the type of place that I'm sort of selling my wares in, and I shall upload them in the middle of next week. Auction, my auction sort of system is basically to have a look at these online auctions. I do mostly online auctions. If I go to an auction, I'm too competitive and I spend too much, so I'm trying to discipline myself. So what I do, I look through this. This is an auction that's going to be up tomorrow. There's two main ones I go to, and this is one of them. So I'll just have a look through and see if it's worth me spending my time, because these are like all-day auctions on a Sunday usually, but this one's on a Saturday tomorrow. And I'm just looking to see if there's anything that sort of jumps out at me that might be useful. And from what we're looking at on this quick clip I'm going to show you now, nothing sort of is my type of thing, you know. I'm past all the days when I used to buy big boxes of glassware and maybe pick 2 or 3 items out and the rest goes down to the charity thrift shop. You know, I'm being a bit more picky now. If I pick glassware, it's usually 1 item or 2 or 3 things that I actually want. And then if you see something you want, then I look at the estimate. Okay, looks okay. There's some things I know straight away, even if I really like them, and I think I can sell them, I just know that all other dealers are doing exactly what I'm doing. So most of these online auctions, I'm up against other dealers, and so you've got to find things at the right price, and you have to totally discipline yourself. And that's why most of the things I'm going to show you that I bought and I'm trying to sell have been bought at a reasonable price. And there's some great things. I've bid for things in the past that I wanted and somebody's outbid me, and I have to bite the bullet and think, no, calm down, you're not going to make much money on that, let it go. It hurts, but the pain goes when the next thing you buy is something good, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to show you everything I bought from the last auction. That's my invoice. It's quite a long list, so I've got quite a bit of new stock in, which is fantastic, because I do like have a good turnover, because I don't go with all the high-end stuff. So I haven't got room anyway to put like huge old, you know, dresses and wardrobes and, you know, old furniture. I haven't got room to do that, and to be honest, I don't like a lot of it. I don't like all the old like furniture. It's not my thing. I like vintage, antique, collectible, but something that's sort of eye-catching, and if I can find something that's different, I absolutely love it. That's my type of thing, and it seems to work, so I'm going to stick with it. Now, the first thing I saw was these. Some people call them cowbells, some people call them Chinese bells. I just call them bells, basically. Some people call them dinner gongs as well. They're not chime bells, they're definitely an indoor thing. And I saw that, I thought, that's the original beater, because it actually reaches down to the base. You can see the one on the side. I'll show you a video and I'll have a little play of them in a minute. But I'd look around and see what's out there. And I thought there'd be quite a few of these, because they were sort of mass-produced. I think they're a Chinese thing. But I'll show you on the video in a minute. You can tell by the frame that has been done more on a machine than a handmade thing, so it's not ancient, but it probably goes back to the 70s or something like that, because I've seen them around. So I saw that one, and it was in it's on a Hong Kong version of Facebook or eBay. I wasn't sure which it was. 657, and I was at China last year, so I know it's like sort of 10 times more. And I just looked it up this morning, and that is £63 that went for. So not bad for something. Let me have a look on my list to make sure I got this right. I paid 25 for that, including the auction fees, right? Which was a bit higher than I normally went, but there's two reasons I wanted this. One, I like it, and second, it's an eye catcher to put on your display. Anybody who comes is going to get that beater out and have a bang on them, right? So even if it's going to draw people to your unit, so I call that an eye catcher, and I like things like that. So I paid a little bit more than I want, but I knew there was some meat on the bones, and this actually went at an auction somewhere in Chattanooga, Chattanooga Choo Choo. And you've got to log in and have an account to do it. I'm not going to sign up for an account just to see how much it went for, but they were going between 100 and 25,000. That's a big estimate, which means they hadn't got a clue how much it was going to go for. But, you know, these are in proper auctions as well as being on things like eBay and things like that. So I absolutely love it. And it's on my thing there, and I have a little play with it occasionally. And they're made out of old metal, but this isn't as old as the metal, you know what I mean? They're so clever, and it's made in China, obviously, and just put a wooden log hanging in the middle. And the bigger ones make quite a nice sound. Now you can see that metal thing. It looks too new. It doesn't look like ancient metal, you know what I mean, or the way they used to do it. And it's made quite cheaply as well, because a real Chinese wouldn't have a plain bit of metal. It'll have some decoration on it. The wood's okay. It's a nice, thick, solid piece of wood. Again, I would have liked a darker colour. I might stay in it, but I don't know. But the original beater as well, which is absolutely fantastic, leather covered, and it's not like knackered like some of them are. See, that second one of it didn't have a very good ring to it, but it doesn't matter. It's never going to be used as a real gong, is it? It's a beautiful decorative item and an eye catcher. And now I'm looking at that now, I'm definitely going to stain that wood darker on the bottom. I just wanted to, I think it looked better dark. It looks too new, even though it's probably 50 years old. And there's not a lot around, because them are the only two things that I saw on the last one. Them are the only two things I found on eBay or on anywhere. And sometimes I've found one that it hasn't got the beater. So that's going to drop the price a lot, because you've got to have the original beater with it. And some were just the cowbells. And they were selling them for as much as I bought that for. I thought, no. So I'm going to put that on sale. It cost me 25. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to put 45 on it to, I think, doubling the money that I usually try to do, 50 something. It's going to sound a bit too much for that. So I'm going to go with 45 on that, and let's see what happens. It won't be there long, guarantee it. Now this, I saw it in the order. I knew what it was as soon as I saw it. It's Bohemian glass. You can tell from a mile off, made in Czechoslovakia. And they made quite a lot of these things, but I hadn't quite seen that. It's like a goblet vase. And it was going for, remember it was £3, wasn't it? Yeah. They put ruby glass goblet vase. They didn't even put Bohemian glass in the thing, you know, which I'm glad of, because nobody bid for it except me. So I got it for £4.50 with the auction costs. And have a look at what they go for. That one's 75 quid for that one. I mean, you don't see a lot of this design about as the goblet glass, and people tend to keep them, they get broken, that type of thing. And that one was actually in an auction, and the guide price was £44 for that. So, you know, that's 10 times more than I paid for it. And also, it's a bit of an eye catcher. That picture doesn't catch its iridescence and its redness. You know, I'm colourblind and it almost looks like grey to me. So I need to do something about my lighting for glass. And even the video doesn't show it as beautiful as it actually is. And it's thick glass, it's got a good weight to it. And the Czechoslovakian glassmakers, there's quite a few. They didn't put their blooming names on it. It might have had a label on it years ago, but that's gone a long time ago. I wish they'd etched some so you just know the history of it. I don't think they thought they were going to be as collectible as they are now when they made these. Probably back in could have been 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. But it's a nice thing, and again, it's a nice little eye catcher that's going to be on my side. And for £4.50, it wasn't on my hit list, but I thought nobody's bidding for it, I'm having that. And I ended up with nobody else bid. Happy days. I'm going to put that on. I think I'm going to go with something like £18 on that. So £4.50 to £18 is a good markup, and someone will buy it for that price, because I know, because I've seen them do it when I'm there, you know, loading stuff up onto my shelf and things like that and cleaning it. There's people going around with their Google Lens. They'll say, I got 75 quid there, you know, and he's got it on for 18, you know, so it's a quick seller. Now I love auction lots like these. I absolutely love them. Look at that, 5 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 sets of candlesticks, all different, all from different centuries in some of them. And I got those for, with the auction lot, £16. And I know why I got them so cheap. Because the ones with the metal and the wooden ones, the barley twist ones in the middle at the back, the bottom had come away from one of them, and it was separate in the auction. And so I thought, well, that's an easy thing to fix. So I got them for £16, right? And them wooden ones at the front, they're oak, and they're like Victorian, so they're proper antique ones. They're 20 quid just on their own. I'll show you a video in a minute, but as you can see, I've repaired them. The ones at the back, the one at the back. The other one was loose at the top as well, but you didn't know that till you bought it. So, guess what I did? A bit of tightening of a screw, and on the base, I put a bit of glue on it as well, and I took out the star point, or we call them Phillips screws, you know, with a cross on them, which sort of makes they're sort of modern. I mean, that came out was the 80s, that was, and them are like proper old ones. So I've got a box of old screws that I keep. Huge box, got them off eBay for about £5, and they're old rusty antique screws with no star points. They're all flat ones, and replaced it. So now I've got a beautiful set of nice candlesticks. Those are embroidered in there. They're resin, so that they're going to be sort of 30s, 40s maybe. These I love. I am going to put a bit of stain on them just where in the bases where they're obviously been used a lot. These were probably made like 2 weeks ago. They're metal, but they're nice decorative things. They'll go. I'm going to put them on cheap. These are my favourite things. I mean, I wish they were solid silver, but I wouldn't have got them for 16 quid if there was, would they? And they just look fantastic, and they're all in great nick now, and they don't wobble. These were quite lightweight, they're just silver plated, but I had 2 spare candles because I've got a few more in there, but they wouldn't have fit that. They fit perfectly, and they just finish it off nicely and add a bit of weight to it. So all of a sudden then I've got like 5 sets of candlesticks, which I'm going to sell between 15 for the small ones, up to 25 for those, the ones that I repaired at the back. and the others, the modern ones I'm going to put on for like £8, and they can just go. And the ones with the candles, I'll put a little bit of premium because they've got the candles on. They'll go for about 20. They will. So all in all, I've probably got 50 up to £60 worth of candlesticks there that I paid 16 for, and they will go because they're all good things. I know they go because I sell a lot of them. But it's great to get one lot of all different ones all together. And because people are so lazy, they don't want to repair anything, you can still get a bargain at auction if you're willing to just do a little bit of things. I'm not a handyman, but I can fix things like that all day long. Now, I wasn't intending to buy this, but I thought, okay, what we got on here? Picture of Jesus. Framed print depicting Jesus. With the auction cost, £7.50 for that. It's in an average, probably, I think it's 1940s, and I might have some evidence to show you in a second. But I knew why nobody was bidding on it, and you'll see in the video. And again, they're just being lazy. But that's being sold. See, I know it's a different frame. It's probably a better frame than this, to be honest. So you can't compare it exactly. But 110, that's going. And that seller, that's on eBay. They've actually got it on Amazon as well. So they're an Amazon seller. So 110 for that. And I got that for £7.50. And also, I couldn't see any more except for this one. I saw that picture and it was on a Facebook page, so I thought I'll check it out. And it's actually from the St Francis School. I've got to find out where it is, but it says religious pictures from the 1940s, and that is the exact same picture that they've got on there. So I knew, my gut feeling, that is worth more than £7.50. So let's have a quick look at it. Some people say that's Mary standing next to Jesus, but no way, it's one of the disciples, and they're going through the fields. There must be something in the Bible that talks about that, because why would somebody paint? Can you imagine how much the original painting of that is going to be worth? And the frames, he says, okay, it's a nice old frame. It sort of goes with the picture, and it's got that quote from John 14:16 there. So he's showing them the way through the fields. And I just think it's a nice thing, but then when you turn it round, that's why the lazy gits didn't bid on it. Oh, the things come off it. Right, and somebody stuck, that is a bit of tape and a bit of glue blob on there, which I shall take off. I mean, I have got something that we guys can't do without. Sticky stuff remover, it'll get that off in about 1 minute, no problem. It's good for getting old labels and things off that you don't want things, and you don't want them on. So I'm probably going to use that original chain, but I'm going to move it and put it in the frame at the top with some of my old screws that I've got. So that's an easy repair, and I can turn a £7.50 picture into, I think I'm going to put it on something like 40, maybe £50, something like that, because it's an eye catcher. Now, this is a strange one, isn't it? But I had to get it, and what have we got? A Christmas tree base. Again, this was £7.50, so it's £6 plus £1.50 for the auction fee. And it's not something I would usually buy, but I thought, well, as Christmas is coming up, I didn't realise how big it was, as you'll see when I show you the video, and I'm trying to turn it round, and it's heavy as well. It's like, I don't know, it's got to be 8-9 kilograms just for that. It's solid resin all the way through. And I thought, I'll look, see how much they've gone for. So I found this, the only picture I could find on the Google Lens was that, going to a Facebook page, and then they've got a thing called holiday ornaments and a tree stand. But when I went to look there, it already sold. That's the only picture that was I could find. So people are keeping these, and as you can see from the, oh, I forgot to put the video in, sorry. I haven't put the video in for this one, but it's always, you can see from the fittings, it'll fit any tree, from a huge real one to one of the, thinner fake ones. That is a good thing. There is a sort of little mark on the other side, which I'm going to paint over, and luckily I'm colourblind, but it's bright red, so I know I've got some red paint. It's good when you get these enamel little things of paint, 'cause it actually says what colour they are on them, so I can use them, and that was a good thing to buy. Now this is a weird one, isn't it, for me? Why did I buy that? Because it was going what I thought was cheap. It actually cost me nearly £12, so it was £11.90 with a fee. But I thought, I just liked it. It's not the sort of thing I usually do. It's not hugely old, but you know, it's 1990s, which is this 30 years now, guys. Yeah, it's soon going. And the only other one I could find was in Hong Kong, going for 550 Hong Kong dollars, which is the equivalent, and I looked up this morning, £53 UK. So I got it for 12, and I'm going to sell that for probably, I think I'll put 35 on that, because no, they're nowhere. You know, Kuwait 1991, you know, that's a desire. And it's solid plastic, but it's heavy, decent plastic. It's not like cheapo plastic. It's not like a home kit. And it's quality, and it's made, you know, look old in the right places. Pilot and co-pilot, I suppose you should call it, just in case there's any military people watching. And the detail that's been onto it, I know it's a sort of a pressing, but the detail is great, and it works. It's not going to take off, but it works. And even on the other side, because obviously it'd be displayed from the other side, you know, they've still got the same quality on the other side. I was trying to get a good picture of them in the... Yeah, that's not too bad, I suppose. You can see the level of detail. That's a good quality thing. That would have been expensive when it came out the first time. And wish I had it in its original there. It would have had a plastic cover over it, but that's long gone. But that's a nice thing, and I thought I'll make a few quid on that. Now, yeah, I have lost my marbles, I know that. But they had this box of marbles going on, and it went to me eventually, and that was another £11.90, so nearly £12 I paid for them. But look at the size of their marbles and the colour, and there's some underneath as well, which are decent quality. It's in a Pokemon box. I want to find a glass jar to do that. On Monday I'm going to do some charity shops, thrift shops, and I'm going to look for a glass jar with a lid on it to put them in. And you got the huge ones there. There's all the different colour ones inside. I don't know enough about marbles to know which are collectible and which aren't, but those are the type they had in my youth, so they could be getting on since 1920s, 30s. That wasn't my youth, by the way, but you know, they've been around a long time. What colour is that? I can't tell. I need my granddaughter here. When I see her, I'm usually taking things to show her, asking her what colour it is. I have to take the look off her and the mocking comments, but she does tell me. But I thought that was a nice lot for £12, and I don't know whether to put the small ones in one jar and just sell the big ones separately and have a bigger price on them. So I'm hoping to probably treble my money on them eventually, and I'll hopefully get, you know, about £30 for the lot, because them big ones have got a premium. You don't see a lot of them around, do you? And you can see they've got little marks and all that. They are proper old ones. So I was surprised other people didn't bid for them. Maybe they didn't like them in a Pokemon box, but that's going to go. Happy days. And now my last thing I'm going to show you today. Look at that for a thing of absolute beauty. It's heavy resin. The detail on it's superb, as you'll see from the video. I had a quick sort of sniff round. There's that one there, pretty much exactly the same model. $133 going on eBay. And another eBay one, obviously US again, that one's going for $60. Don't think it's quite the same as mine, but you can see the type of thing. I couldn't find many with that exact design. There's loads with other designs, and there is an absolutely beautiful solid marble one being done that was like £2,500. You know, this one is resin, made to look like it's got a marble base, but the detail in it is superb. Now he's got that mark on his chin. I don't like. That's the only mark on it I don't like. I am going to fill that in and do a little paint job on that. Again, I'll need granddaughter to help me with the colouring because it's not totally white. It's like a creamy type colour, it looks like to me. But the amount of detail they've managed to get in a resin cast. I like the way they put the marbling on there. I think it's been copied from a proper marble thing because there's too much detail on it for a resin cast, isn't there? And I wouldn't cover all the blemishes on it. And look at that cape, it brings it to life, that cape, doesn't it? You can just feel the sort of energy as you look at it. And it's, you know, in his action pose is fantastic, and the detail on the chariot and the wheels, horses, the muscles in them. That is a quality piece of resin. And down here you can see it's had a life, and I've looked everywhere on it for some sort of maker's mark, and there's nothing on it at all, which is a bit annoying. I can't find where it was originally made either. There's nothing out there, but I just know that is a thing of beauty. And it's in my cabinet. I only put the good stuff in my cabinet. That's actually my cabinet, and I'm sort of iffing and butting whether to sell that. And what did I get him for? Large resin chariot. It cost me £19 with the fees. Nothing. I can't believe nobody else bid for it. You know, maybe it's got a few knocks on it. Who cares? It's like people aren't going to look at it that closely. It's going to be a display piece, it's like it is in mine, on somebody's shelf. So I'm loving that, and I'm probably going to put that on. I think I'll go with around about £60 to sell that. So again, you're trebling your money potentially if someone buys it, but it does leave room if someone comes in and say, "Oh, I'll offer you 50." You know, you get a phone call occasionally from this thing saying someone's offered this, and you know, if you've got a good profit margin on it, you say, "Yeah, I'll let them have it for 50." You know, make you sound begrudging. But you know, you've still made a good profit, and the person's thinks they've got a bargain. Well, they have got a bargain. But that's the way I like to do business, and that will take up half a shelf on my thing. So if I put it on there, I'd like to sell pretty quickly because I want to put other stuff on there. Some of the dealers there have had stuff on there for ages, £100 of stuff, and it's there for ages. I don't like that. I like to sell it. Well, I'm going to shut up now. Well, thanks for listening to that. I'm going to try and keep these around the half an hour mark, 'cause that's enough to hear me rabbiting on about antiques. So I appreciate you watching it this far. If you haven't already, give us a like, comment, share, and subscribe would be great as well. And I'll be putting another one out in a few days with the other things that I haven't told you about yet. So thanks for listening. I'll catch up with you soon.